What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a tiny demo for a game called Final Outpost. This is a sort of roguelike-y game. I don't know if I would classify it as a roguelike that's got clicker influences to it, where you are managing a base in the zombie apocalypse that's trying to hold off zombies for as long as possible. There's no meta progression or anything else like that. It's purely just you trying to solve what buildings you need to build in order to get the workers you need to get, so that every single night you're properly defended, while during the day you are also bringing in enough resources to stay alive. Today we're going to play the game for about 30 minutes. I think I've got my first impressions about it more or less put together after an hour of playing the game. You can find a link to the demo down below in the description as always, and you can find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links down there just in case you're utterly fascinated or otherwise infatuated with having more Splattercat in your life. But let's dive on into this thing. We'll start a new profile over here and we'll put it on normal difficulty, and I'm going to call this Fartbase 5000 because I think there was an old Frankish warlord that said something about this in his writings about any place called Fartbase 5000 cannot fall. I'm pretty sure it's biblical. It might be in Exodus somewhere. But this is our base right here. There's no way to pause the game. I deeply wish that there was a way to pause the game. But this is our base. We are responsible for protecting it for the foreseeable future. And so I'm just going to kind of like micromanage and do some things in the background because this game is very much a race against time. So there's not going to be a lot of time for me to stop and explain what I'm doing. But this is our base. We have various resources. So we have things like population. That's the amount of workers you have going out during the day and doing the things that they're supposed to do in order to make stuff happen. You also have different resources, so you've got food. Your people eat food every X amount of time per population that you have inside the base, and so you're going to want to stay on top of that as well, because when people starve, it's never good. People are always about 3 days of hunger away from absolute savagery. We've got wheat over here. We've got wood, which is used for repairing the wall and also building new buildings. We've got scrap, which is used for making new tools. You have to have tools, otherwise you can't get more workers to go out and gather stuff for you, and so that can become a big problem as time goes along. But all of your villagers are these little dots over here. Like I said, this is a bit of an incremental game. You don't actually have control over most of the things that are going to be transpiring or taking place. Instead, you're kind of just moving little knobs around to adjust the amount of workers that you have in various positions, and then at night we're going to be defending from waves of zombies that we have to defend against in order to make this whole thing happen. And so that's where my knife-wielding psychopaths over here come into play. They don't really do anything during the day, although I have found that you do need to micro a lot in this game if you want to show any means of tangible progress. One downside to this game is that you're going to have to unassign all your knife fighters every day and have them take every other job, and then every day around like 5 p.m. you're going to want to untick everybody and reassign them all to being knife fighters. I would love to see that just be automated. Like, you should just have a list that says daytime and nighttime, and then you just assign the amount of workers you want to each job based on the hour of day, and that would make things a whole lot less clicky than it is right now. But for the moment, our main thing that we're trying to accomplish is that every now and again we're going to get immigrants that come on in, and we're going to want to have space for them. So I need to get this base building right here upgraded to tier 2 about as soon as possible so that we don't waste hyper valuable civilians that are going to be coming in and helping us defend the wall, because the attacks are going to get very serious and very, very heavy duty by about 10 days on into the game. That's where you're going to have to really be buttoned up. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart pretty quickly. This is our first attack. All of the outside workers are going to come inside and they're going to crash out for the night. I am going to, while he's doing his thing over here, I need 200 for that. What's my cap storage right now? 200. I can have exactly 200 in order to upgrade my base. Alright, all of these buildings do have upgrades. You can make them more effective at whatever it is that they do. So for example, with this central building right here, this is both our stockpile and our general living quarters for now until we get dedicated housing. We've got a wood pile over here, which is also going to be useful because we need wood to fix the walls, and then we also need wood for making new bows for new hunters so that we can keep the food flowing on in. The workshop's going to let us make the tools that are kind of like the hard cap for the amount of workers that you can have in here. Some workers have a requirement that you have a certain building before they're going to be useful to you. At this point in the game, though, not really important. These are the zombies over here. It depends if they're going to attack the wall. You can see our knife guy right here. It looks like the zombies are mostly milling around right now and not really making it. Oh, there's one on the south end right there. But every time you smack a zombie, it's going to set off a sound ring. And once the sound ring sets off, they're going to come in and attack the wall. And it's going to lose HP, which you can view right here. So we lost about 50 points of HP on this run, which means that we need to get some other workers up and running too before this is going to be super effective. All right, so he's going to go back inside. Let's get rid of our knife fighter. I would like to have one more axe so that we can really focus on getting lumberjacks going. Wood. Wood, from my eye, having played the game now 2 or 3 times through and not winning, seems to be the major stopgap on everything that I'm trying to accomplish. And so I'm trying to avoid running out of wood at all costs. So there's enough wood for us to get that upgraded. Now we can hold more wood. So that's great. You also get skill points over in this menu that allow you to make your base more sophisticated, have more fun stuff, things like that. I think there's also going to be a solid chance that we're going to go hungry today because food is a ticking on down, and there doesn't seem to be much that I can do about that at the moment due to my limited population. So we'll just let them go hungry a little bit, and hopefully it all works out. We got 5 food stocked up right there, and then tomorrow in the morning, maybe I'll take the scavenger off his job, and we'll try to get things done. We need to rotate some people around so that we have knife fighters. So we got him right there. What can I craft right now? I can make a new bow. Let's make a new bow. And then we also need to make a drying rack so that we can store up more food because we're at the point right now where having a surplus is going to be super important. And so let's see if we can get this guy right here not only upgraded to level 1, but also, oh, I need 100 wood for level 2. I think they're going to bring that back for me. They did. All right, so let's get level 2 food storage right there. So I should have 15 food available to be stored up. We're going to go a little bit hungry tonight, but there's not too much I can do to work around the top of that. So we'll let this night run really, really quickly, and we'll see if we pull on through or if the zombies are going to get us. We made it to morning, and we didn't take quite as bad of a scuffing last night as I thought we were going to take. So we should be all right. I'll take a knife fighter off right there, and I think I'll probably double up on hunters until we've capped out our food. And once we've capped out the food, we should be good to go. It's also possible, hey, we got immigrants today. Good. So these little guys right here are immigrants. We want to click on those, but I would put some kind of like spark or flash or confirmation sound effect when you click on those. That gave us 3 more workers to play around with. And so I'd like another lumberjack. I don't know if I need more scavengers. Let's call it, we've got 14 scrap right now. Let's send a couple guys out to cap out our scrap for the moment. We've got a couple hours left in the day. I don't know if they're going to get it done in time, but a little bit of extra scrap would be good. Hunters are coming back in, so we only had 1 cycle of hunger right there. It may take a day or 2 for us to get that all squared away. And now that we have a little bit more right there, let's go ahead and craft up a few knives. That way, I can take 2 scavengers off. We'll put those right there, and once we get to nighttime, we'll cancel 1 of our lumberjacks. We'll put a knife fighter in, and that should keep us nice and defended. As far as I can tell, I don't know if this is just a design oversight or what, but there doesn't seem to be any downside to just swapping workers every single night. There doesn't seem to be a debuff or a penalty or anything else like that, which just leads to a whole bunch of micromanagement every morning and every evening when you're going through. Instead, I think they should fundamentally redesign how the defense of the wall works right there, because that extra fiddliness doesn't really add anything to the game, does it? We got ourselves at 6 a.m. right now. We'll get rid of our knife fighters. We'll get as many lumberjacks as we can. Give me another axe. We'll keep the hunters right where they're at, and we'll kind of see how that plays. We'll keep the scavenger where he's at. And I don't know if I want to have another bow for tonight or what I want to do. Let's go with a bow, and let's get a 3rd hunter. Food is still not looking ideal. Like, we're still ticking downwards at aggressive rates, and I would like that to not be the case. Let's build some housing just in case more immigrants come through. 8 citizens went hungry. Yeah, that's what I was a little bit worried about. Can we cap our food before too long, or is that going to be something that's just not going to happen by the time we get to the evening? All right, take them off, put them on. How much of the hunter's going to bring me at the end of the night? They capped us out. That's good. And so we want to watch our food very carefully to see what happens next. I can't afford another knife. I need a workshop level 2. We need 450 wood for that in order to make that possible. So I'm going to kind of wait and see what happens here. The waves aren't too bad, but we've got an event in about 20 hours. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be a traitor, it can be like a massive attack, it can be a drought, it can be all kinds of stuff. You never quite know what you're going to get. From there, it's also weird how these guys just stay in one position unless there's somebody on the wall, and then they completely reposition to that side. So yeah, I think the defensive mechanism needs to be changed around. It feels unnecessarily inefficient right now, but what I'm aiming for is we need to get workers up and running, because workers are the guys that can fix the walls in between waves. They charge you 20 wood, and then they fix 20 HP on the wall. And as the attacks get nastier and nastier and nastier, it's going to become very, very necessary for us to get that done. I need 10 for knives. Okay. Get them off of there. Send them out to there. We'll go 2 scavengers for today. I kind of want to take a hunter off food supplying because I feel like we're ahead of the curve right now. But I'm also a little bit nervous about it. Like, I don't know if it's going to work out. But we'll try to stockpile what we can for the moment. Alright, so 1 hour until we get our event over here. And in general, we need to stay on top of that. But we are capped on a lot of stuff. I need 450 for the workshop. So we're going to build another wood pile over there, I think. It's going to get pricey, but it'll give us a little bit more capacity to grow into so that we can get some of these deep cut upgrades. But these zombie hordes are getting kind of big. They are getting a little bit more solid than they were previously. I think we should still be able to hold them off. But we do need to get the workshop upgraded like tomorrow. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart real quick. Get them out of there. We'll just keep it to 1 scavenger for today. I'm going to lay off on the hunter for now and just see what happens to our food. I have an unassigned guy. Oh, we got a skill point. Very nice. That'll be helpful. Give me another axe. Well, we'll put it on 2 scavengers for today because we're going to be building some better stuff pretty soon, and I'm just going to let her ride. Skill point wise, we can upgrade the carrying capacity of our guys, we can upgrade wall repairs, we can upgrade the damage that our knife guys wield. We can also make our guys walk faster when delivering stuff. I'm going to go for the damage because I'm a little bit worried they're going to break on through. That's the confirmation that I'm talking about right there when you pick up new civilians. That right there was exactly what I had in mind for when you pick a new skill, so that's good. I don't think we have any immigrants just yet, but we should have 15 population cap to bring them in, so it shouldn't be too big of a worry by the time we get there. I really need this workshop to be up and running, though, by the end of the day. There's our 466. Upgrade that to level 2. Having that at level 2 means that I can now make saws. Making saws will allow us to get a little worker that fixes up the buildings, and so that'll be super helpful as things get more and more dire as time goes along. Let's unassign everybody. We'll get them back to knife-wielding maniacs that are now dealing 33% more damage, so that'll be good. And this one's a little bit of a sleeper. There's not a whole lot of, like, active gameplay going on right here. Like, that's the thing that really came to mind after I played through it a couple times, is that it won't let you pause the game. But it doesn't really matter because there's not a whole lot of action. There's not a lot of actionable decision making being made on the part of the player, aside from just watching numbers going up and making the decision as to what you're going to build next. But maybe it'll get more complex as time goes along. It's very, very difficult to tell at this junction. So zombies are coming in. We're just going to leave this on max speed for right now because I don't think there's any real chance of the wall falling for the moment. With 3 defenders out here dealing the damage they're dealing, I think we might be okay. Yeah, we're looking all right. Let's go ahead and slow that back down real quick. We'll unassign these guys. We'll put our lumberjacks back on doing lumberjack-like stuff. You know, easy YouTuber joke, getting wood. I'll probably take... I need more people. That's what I need. I need more people. I'm going to leave things where there they are. And in fact, we got the peepos. I don't know how that's going to affect us in terms of getting things done, but they're inside the base now, so add another lumberjack, maybe add another scavenger. If we end up bottom-ending out on food from those 3 new guys, what kind of food drain do we have right now? 1.1? Is that per hour? Because if that's per hour, we got to get on top of it. It is per hour. Okay. So this might be a case then where we want to take off a lumberjack and put in a hunter. And hopefully they get the drop-off before the end of the day. We'll add another meat drying rack over here so that we can stockpile even more food, because in an ideal world, I would like it such that I can stockpile food for a couple of days and then just not have hunters for a few days if we can manage it. How much is my food storage up to? It's up to 25. We might be all right. It's difficult to hypothesize. Let's unassign people. We'll put them over there. I would like to have a few more knives, I think. I've got shovels for wheat, and I've got pickaxes for stone, too. Let's just get 2 more knives for right now. That way I can take even more lumberjacks off, and we can have 5 guys defending the walls. We'll see how that plays out for the moment. I think food is like our next prevailing issue that we've got to get on top of, though. So they're all going to cheese out. That's fine. Get all the knife wielders off of there. Let's go full lumberjacks. We'll just add 1 extra scavenger. And it looks like the wall actually held pretty good that day. I think we might be all right here. We've got 2 days till our next event, so I'm just going to let her run, and if I build anything or do anything, I'll let you know. So we do have some new building plots uncovered, but we need base level 3 in order to get after them, which is going to require 600 wood. We don't have the 600 wood just yet, but we do have another batch of immigrants coming in, which is good because that'll immigrant cap us on out. However, our food supply is going to be dodgier than hell doing this. So I'm just going to assign 2 of these guys to be hunters, and I just want to have loads of food coming on in. If I can get another axe, that'd be great too, because we're trying to stockpile wood for the future. I'll probably also throw another knife on the pile. That way I can have 6 defenders, because I think things are going to get better before... I think things are going to get worse before they get better. But food is actually tangibly moving upwards right now, which is nice. We are capped on the amount of wood that we have. In case we get more immigrants, I need another wood pile, and I would like to have another housing. That way we're not wasting our wood supplies. Everybody else is coming back on in, dropping things off. We're food capped. Probably not a terrible idea to get another meat drying rack too, but we're running out of slots over here, so we're going to need to be careful about it. Now that night is upon us, I'm going to make a habit of just having the lumberjackers. They're gonna moonlight as just knife fighters. We've got a trader over here. He wants us to sell some of our stuff in order to get money so that we can buy other things. I guess I could sell a little bit of that in order to get 100 wood infusion real fast. I could take that swap. I do like how it leaves a little trail behind the car and how there's like the sound of a diesel engine while he's sitting outside the base. That's definitely nice. 500 wood right there. What's my actual max wood cap right now? I'll take another 50 wood right there, because when we upgrade this central building, what it may do... Let's sell a little bit of that to get 100 wood back. I don't know if that was a good idea or if I'm going to regret it. I think we'll be fine. Food supply seems okay right now. I don't see it like wiggling around on me in catastrophic ways. Like wall repairs, everything else seems to be in a really good spot. Oh no, dude, he grabbed the 20 wood. I was gonna upgrade the central building. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Lumberjackers, are you guys coming back right now? I need you guys to come back right now and hopefully drop off 600 wood. They did drop off 600 wood. We've got to move all of our lumberjackers over to knife fighting, though. All right, so there's our guys on the wall. They've been repositioned. Day 10, which we're on right now, is when this is going to start to get gnarly, because I don't know if you'll be able to notice it with the YouTube compression, but there's like spotty zombies, too. And the spotty zombies, they like get the other zombies to jump in on the fight and make a bunch of noise, which can be kind of a headache. And so we're going to see what happens to the wall here, but this is by far going to be our nastiest night. But I think we're up to the task. I think. I don't know that to be true, but this is going to be the first sketchy one. We just got to make it till 5 a.m. Kind of a little blood moon type situation happening here. Get off my wall. Get out of here. I would like it if the individual knife fighters, once they reconfigure the combat system, actually had like veterancy and like little skill trees and names for each one too. That's really my observation, is the game needs more complexity. In a lot of ways, it reminds me... Oh, cool, we got a skill point. Hell yeah. I will take a skill point. I need 2 skill points to get more damage. Okay, then I will take, let's make our wall repairs maybe a little bit more efficient. I gotta reassign guys, by the way. There we go. Guys reassigned. I need those lumberjackers to be working all the livelong day. But what it reminds me of is it reminds me of Super Fantasy Kingdom. I don't know if you guys played that demo, but I did a video on it a while back, which had a very similar idea to this game where during the day you have workers that go out and gather stuff, but there's like a full-on battlefield up here where you're playing an auto battler based on positioning, and the resources allow you to build new buildings and do things that make your auto battlers up here better. That's what it feels like this game is missing so far. Is it feels like it's missing a core fundamental mechanic other than like sit here and wait for stuff to happen. Sit here and wait for stuff to happen is probably not going to capture the imagination of most people. And so I do feel like while I've been recording this video, I've spent an inordinate amount of time just with like the fast forward set, just waiting for things to happen, sitting around, I guess. So now that we have level 3 base, we should have more buildings available for us. We've got a mine over there, but it requires 200 wood. That'll give us stone. I don't know exactly what stone's going to be useful for. Useful for upgrading the base. These guys can all go up to level 3 now too, which will help out with our storage problems. Another day of not doing a whole lot. I think we're going to need more defenders pretty soon, though. I don't know when in the hell it's going to let us actually have turrets. Like, when do we get turrets all set up? And also, how does this reserve thing work? It looks like we're going to be taking attacks from all different directions at some point, based on this little menu right here. How do I unlock turrets? Where do those come from? So tonight's attack doesn't seem to be quite as bad. Like, there's still zombies milling through, but it's definitely not as bad as the Blood Moon that we had a night or two ago. So I think this should mostly be alright. If we take a little bit of damage, I'm cool with it. We can also upgrade this wall right here, which I haven't done like a single time. Maybe you get the turrets via upgrading the wall. Maybe that's what I should give a go to. We're going to need a lot of wood to do it, though. We've got some more civilians coming in, which is actually a good thing. So with 3 more civilians, that means I'm freed up to make 2 more knives. So we have a max cap on 8 knife fighters. But I feel like the efficiency of knife fighters is kind of running out on us right now. Let's get the wall upgraded first and foremost. And I do like how the graphic changed on the wall. That's pretty cool. Oh, the next level gives us 2 turrets. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to make a cut here, and we'll try to figure out what the game looks like with turrets. Because my curiosity now is piqued. Like, I don't know if the game is going to get wilder and crazier, and I'm just in, like, kind of this early game sort of doldrum. So I have upgraded the wall to the next level now after a day or two, and so we've actually got access to turrets and things, which may be pretty useful to us. What's my food drain looking like right now? 2 per hour? We're going to have to increase our food cap right there because the math isn't adding up right now. I definitely think that's going to be necessary. We're maxed out on scrap. That's great. You guys can come back on in. Just pre-prep as knife fighters. How many knives do I have? We will also take this moment to open up a mine and a stone storage like so. And hopefully that's good enough because I want to see what these turrets do. Dude, like, what am I going to get? Like Gatling guns? Missile launchers? What kind of good things are going to come out of the turret positioning? So a new prevailing issue has arisen. The forest can run out of deer. So we're hunting the deer on this side, and hopefully that'll be enough food to keep us nice and course corrected. I can't honestly tell you. I need to get the right amount of hunters, though, because I don't think I can get a farm until I take this up to level 3. At which point, or level 4, that means I can get a farm, which will start producing this food over here, which will give us a little bit of a buffer, I suppose, but I have driven the deer almost extinct, and that's not good for us. With 100 stone inside of there, yeah, dude, make a crossbow guy. That sounds good. However, we have to have room for the crossbow guy. Okay, we'll reassign them at the end of the night and make the whole thing work. It'll be all right. I don't know what's going to happen if I expand the base out this way, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Uh-oh, I forgot to reassign my knife fighters. There we go. Get all you guys off of there. Give me him. Give me some knife fighters. Do I have the little shovel guys? Where are the little shovel guys at? And there's our first little defensive turret right there. We'll see how it does. Oh, it costs wood every time it shoots. But it does have piercing damage from what I can see. Okay. I think it's definitely helping out. How many knife fighters did I put out there? Doesn't feel like I have 8, but I guess maybe I'm bad at counting. Huh. I'm actually sort of curious to see that if I expand out this way, what's going to happen. I'm very, very curious about this situation. We have more people coming on in, which is fine. It's going to stress out our food supply a little bit, but we got to do what we got to do. I can only put one worker over there because I only have but the one shovel. What I will consider doing is I'm going to sell off some of this wood, and I'm going to use that to top up my food for a little bit. It'd be beautiful if I could get another wood drying rack up before he leaves and then just hard stockpile for the future. That'd be really good. You guys bring in some more wood. How long is he going to be here? 3 more hours? Okay. I'm going to sell my scrap. I'm going to sell my wood for now. And then I'm going to max out our food because we're not going to be able to have hunters for a little bit. So that's going to be kind of like the best we can do for now. So I don't really know how I feel about this one right now. There's moments where I liked it, and there's moments where I felt like it was kind of boring. There's a number of things I think need to be looked at before I dive in wholeheartedly, just from my perspective. It is a really lightweight race-the-clock incremental game that's kind of disguised as a zombie base builder. The things I think are major here that need to be looked at absolutely are the daily fiddliness of defenders around your base. I think that instead buying permanent defenders using excess pop cap and scrap would be a better idea, and it would kind of eliminate the clickiness altogether that you've got to do at the beginning and end of every single day. But then again, that makes the entire game set it, forget it, and watch time pass until you build buildings, and I don't think that actually fixes the sort of humdrumness of the game as it seems right now. Some things on the tech tree seem scattered, like they came up too early or too late, like farming being in tier 4. It kind of felt like it would be better in tier 3 to me, since that's around when food runs out on day 11 or so from the forest. General tool tipping, I think, could be better around most of the mechanics as well. My first run, I lost entire game days just fiddling around with things that the tutorial didn't tell me, just seeing how the system works. But all in all, I'm interested, but like I said earlier, it kind of feels like Super Fantasy Kingdom minus the auto-battler mechanic that takes place above while you're doing the base building down below, and I think it kind of suffers due to that. The game is badly in need, in my observation, of some greater mechanic, like an overworld map. This is just a suggestion. It's not a thing that I think needs to happen, but a mechanic like this. Like, if the game had an overworld map, and you could send out your non-working excess population to explore locations, bring back resources, get kind of lore pop-ups, make trade runs to other factions and cities, gain reputation with them. Possibly gaining that reputation would give you access to special buildings, defenders, but lock you out of other ones because certain outside factions don't like each other. It's sort of like spitballing, but it feels like it needs another big mechanic in here to tie a bow on the whole thing and make it into a fully fledged product. That was just the vibe that I got. So for now, I think the pacing is a little bit slow to keep me interested, and there's not enough moving parts and too much downtime waiting for resources to come in and things to happen for me personally. But we'll see if it happens. This is Final Outpost, and I'm Splattercat. I look through the pile to find what's worthwhile every single day so that you don't have to. Did I say look through the pile? Huh. Sift through the pile. Well, I'll see y'all later. Bye, folks.